Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the faculty and staff at the virtual campus, I would like to formally welcome you to our orientation presentation. My name is Jeff Frankowiak, and I'm the proud principal here at the virtual campus. And it is so exciting because not only are we talking about a pathway that we love for our students, but we're also talking about opportunities for students. And the best thing about the virtual campus is now that we're meeting our students for the upcoming school year, we're going to be able to start designing and creating and talking to our teachers and talking with their students and talking to our families about how we can create the best and most engaging schools for all of the students involved. One of the things that you'll see throughout the presentation tonight is you're going to see ideas and you're going to see concepts. You're going to see things that we're going to be able to do for our staff and for our students that are going to allow us to take education and use all the technology that we've acquired along the way and really enhance the learning experience. And so as you have questions and as you're thinking about how this pathway might fit for your family or for your child at home, please ask us questions. There's a link in the bottom of the description of this YouTube stream, and if we do not get to it tonight, we're going to do the best we can to make this presentation a little bit interactive. We'll be able to go through and follow up with families either individually, or we'll be sending global updates if it's a popular question out there. So one thing I would like to highlight is sometimes in distance learning, there's a perceived criticism of, will students have the same connections? Will they still have, friends in classes? Will they still get to know their teachers, and will their teachers still get to know them the same way? The answer is yes to all of the above. One of the things that we have found in the last 2 years is that feedback and individualized connections that our students have with teachers is far enhanced because feedback is personalized. Students are able to access the content when they are ready and when they're in the mindset to engage with whatever learning that needs to take place for them to be successful in that course. Another thing that we're very proud of, if you're a returning family, you probably have heard already, but we have clubs and activities coming up and they'll be launching in our pathway. So the nice thing is students will not only have a distance learning program like the virtual campus, but they will also have the ability to engage and interface with students, through their passions with art, passions with the game clubs, passions with esports, and a variety of other clubs that have now come online for our students. The other thing I would like to highlight is, and if you follow us on social media, and at the end of our presentation, you'll find the way to link to our accounts. You're going to see artifacts throughout the year. And the one thing you'll notice, kids and students are coming to our Schultz campus to engage one-on-one with each other and with larger groups as well. So students and faculty and the greater virtual campus community still have these opportunities to come together like a traditional school. We just take it one step further by providing the content a little bit more outside of the traditional four walls of a classroom. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of all of us for engaging with us, attending this orientation presentation, and it's going to be an exciting night ahead. So without further ado, we're going to flip over to the actual presentation, and I'm going to highlight a couple key members you're going to meet tonight. So give me 1 second as I put it on the screen here. So first and foremost, you're going to see some of our faculty and staff here. So starting from left to right on the pictures here, Mrs. Marr is our counselor. You have Mrs. Rux, one of our teachers. Of course, we're friends now. That's me, Mr. Frankowiak, the principal here. You're also going to see Mrs. Galuska, our elementary interventionist, Mrs. Rains, our program consultant. You'll meet Ms. Griffin, Ms. Filipski, who's our speech pathologist. You're going to see Mrs. Glenn, our art teacher, Mr. Kraus, one of our third grade teachers, and Mrs. Woodberg, who is in charge of our English language learner program as well. So as you can see, we have a great group of panelists tonight that will be showcasing all of the opportunities awaiting for you at the virtual campus. So one thing I want to highlight, and this often gets lost in translation because I know we're thinking about schedules, we're thinking about the logistics of the virtual campus, but one thing I want to highlight is we've been very intentional about launching this school. Now, the pandemic, which I know we're still feeling some of the aftershocks from, really expedited the concept and the launching of the Rochester Community Schools virtual campus, but everything was by design, everything was very intentional. And I can say this, when we started the journey 2 years ago, we had a really great idea based on research and whatnot, but we've changed quite a bit based on feedback from our students, our faculty, and of course, our families at home. The one thing that has been our bedrock, though, have been the 6 core values, and you'll see them on the screen right now. But the thing is, these 6 core values are really rooted in research across the board, and you'll see adventure, community, internationalism, agency, innovation, and personalization. If you go to our website, the virtual campus website, you can go to the Rochester Community School site and you'll see the virtual campus right in the middle. You'll see our big logo there. You can access it that way, or at the end of the presentation, you can catch the link as well. But you can take a deeper dive into these 6 core values and how they fit in there. The biggest thing I want to highlight is we really look at what are the skills and the successful attributes of learning while they're in elementary school, but then also how does it connect to this greater global community and society that we have, and that the society our students will likely be interfacing with when they are in the world one day as, you know, contributors of society. And that starts right when they enter their I guess you'd say the proverbial doors at the virtual campus. So again, that 6 core value that you see on the screen, it's been kind of our anchor, our guiding light as we've kind of launched everything from there. So without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our first speaker, and that is first grade teacher extraordinaire, Mrs. Valerie Rux. Mrs. Rux, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Frankowiak. Hello, everyone. We value the connections we make with our students, and we provide lots of opportunities for them to connect with each other. Some of the ways that we do that is with our daily morning meetings on Zoom, which is our whole class community building session. We also connect with students during lunch bunches, virtual talent shows, 100-day celebrations, classroom parties, including Halloween parties, complete with costumes, and activities like Monday Fun Day STEM projects on Zoom with Mr. Kraus, just to name a few. Parents and caregivers partnering with teachers helps us to create our dynamic educational team. What does that look like? Teachers create course packs of materials that families can pick up along with math and science journals. The virtual campus has an on-site book room that students can visit and check out books, and guest readers read books to their child's class on Zoom. Here are some examples of the learning pathways that we engage with. Each pathway is the very same curriculum that is used in the Rochester Community Schools brick and mortar buildings, in addition to the Teachers College curriculum that we are using for reading, writing, and phonics. Your child will also receive small group reading instruction. They'll participate in book clubs, have access to both digital books and traditional books at our virtual campus book room. We use the same everyday math curriculum that's used in other buildings. Your child will also meet in small groups for math. They have access to digital math games. And if you have a first grader, they will look forward to developing their place value skills with their number scrolls. And if you've never seen a first grader write numbers beyond 1,000 as their scroll grows taller than they are, you're in for a treat. Our social studies curriculum is developed from the Michigan Citizenship Collaborative Curriculum, but we enrich the curriculum in different ways. For example, our first graders just had presentations from the Rochester Hills Fire Department on fire safety, and our TK through 5th grade students participate in virtual field trips from the Rochester Hills Museum at Van Hoosen Farm. We teach science using the Serial City Science curriculum, but the learning doesn't stop there. Just last week, our students attended the STEM science field trip at Adams High School. And I am currently waiting for live fiddler crabs to arrive for our first grade unit on plant and animal traits. I'm not sure why I thought that was a good idea to bring live critters home, but we do it for the kids. You might be wondering how we manage to provide all of these amazing opportunities for students each day. Well, Mr. Kraus will share more about that next.
Well, thanks, Mrs. Rux. It's nice to hear from you and see you every day. Hello, everyone. I'm Mr. Kraus, and just like Mrs. Rux, I have been with the virtual campus since its development. The importance of those teacher, student, and family relationships are so important to our virtual campus. Even the great relationships between our experienced teachers creates the family atmosphere that we're all looking for. As we continue this evening, we want you to know that our virtual campus classrooms are well planned out to accommodate all of our learners. What you see here is an example of an upper elementary week-at-a-glance schedule. Each elementary classroom provides a schedule in our Brightspace learning management system for our students to access each day. It allows our students and families to plan their weeks, access each individual lesson with active web links, and provide the students with classroom routines to help them manage their learning. As you can see, this schedule highlights the individual student assignments as well as the small group learning opportunities that all of our students receive in our TK through 5 learning environment. In the virtual campus, we have adopted Brightspace as our learning management system. The platform allows us, TK all the way to 12, to house our lessons and assignments in one single virtual learning environment for all of our students. While using Brightspace, our students have immediate access to interactive videos, Google Suite-based assignments, and the ability to share their work with their teacher online. In this example, you can see an assignment where the teacher has provided a to-do list, an interactive engaging video lesson, and the ability to submit an assignment right back to their teacher. Brightspace provides the keys to the classroom doorways. But once those doors are opened by our students, they have an ease of access to their educational learning system. Now, while Brightspace may be the keys to our learning doorways, our virtual campus team uses a wide variety of virtual tools to teach our individual students. We know that not every student learns exactly the same way. We know our students. We want our students to build upon their learning independence, self-motivation, and technological savvy. Tools such as Nearpod, Flipgrid, Sora, Prodigy, and other services are used throughout our virtual campus classrooms to make our learning fun, enjoyable, and adaptable to all of our students. We want to meet our students where they need to be met. We want to make sure our students not only enjoy their learning, but gain those educational and life skills to take them beyond their learning limits. And with that, I would love to pass it on to my great specials teaching partner, Mrs. Glenn.
Thank you, Mr. Kraus. And hello, students and families out there. At the elementary level, we are excited to offer specials to enhance the experiences of all of our students. Art, music, and PE hold live Zoom meetings with students, and media lessons are actually included throughout the year in the form of resources and cool digital learning opportunities. Mrs. Rains is actually going to share some examples of those later on. Just like other content area classes, students have a Brightspace page for every one of their specials. On these pages, we include announcements, additional resources, asynchronous lessons, and that way students can actually complete those independently outside of their Zoom times. They also include our Zoom links and our contact information in case students ever want to or need to get a hold of specials teachers outside of scheduled class time. They're actually also pretty cute and creative. Art, music, and PE live Zooms take place on a predictable schedule. Students and families will always know what to expect and can plan their day accordingly. Classroom teachers also help support students to understand their schedule and know when their classes will attend specials, so they get used to the schedule at the start of school as well. Our specials team is also proud to support students' clubs and activities. That includes art club and 4th and 5th grade choir. In addition, we host in-person festivals throughout the year, and students are invited to visit the Schultz campus, where they rotate through a series of stations. So for instance, this past fall, students visited during our fall festival. They had the opportunity to visit a painting station, live music sing-alongs, cardboard maker challenges, and a hay bale obstacle course. So we're always looking for exciting opportunities to innovate and support student interests. You can expect many more of those events in the future as well. So I will now send things along to our counselor, Mrs. Samantha Marr.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mrs. Marr, and I am the secondary counselor here at the virtual campus. At our virtual campus, our approach is to care for and educate the whole child. Children who become part of our community find our approach caters to not only their academic well-being, but also their emotional and social well-being. At the virtual campus, balance between academics and the care and development of behavioral, emotional, and social needs are at the heart of our approach to educating the whole child. Children who learn with us in grades TK through 5 are immersed in learning from the research-based program, the Positivity Project. Students learn the rich language and behaviors they can use and choose in their daily lives to develop positive self-care habits. Every day, your child will work towards growing their whole self, not only academically, but socially and emotionally. Career development is also a main focus for the virtual campus. Students are encouraged to explore our Zello career programming tool. This helps students learn about the different dream jobs that they could possibly have one day. Through games, challenges, videos, and more, students will learn all about what they want to be when they grow up. And as you can see on the screen, here are some examples of what that Zello looks like for our TK through 5. RCS also offers a career liaison, who in our case is Mr. Kraus, for our virtual campus that can help further future career success. Now I would like to introduce Julie Rains.
Hi, everyone. My name is Julie Rains, and I'm the technology program consultant here over at the virtual campus. As several of our teammates have mentioned previously, at virtual campus, we're pretty uniquely positioned to practice skills and prepare students for the future global economic society. And of course, this is supported by research. So at the World Economic Forum, researchers asked CEOs from major global corporations to share skills they were looking for in future employees. They mentioned complex problem solving, coordinating with others, people management, and critical thinking, amongst others. At Virtual Campus, students have the opportunity to practice these skills on a daily basis. For example, students need to problem solve accessing the newest Zoom upgrades or how to coordinate communications during group projects. One crucial component of the virtual campus is, of course, the use of technology. The use of technology at Virtual Campus goes beyond the use of word processing as a substitute for pencil and paper tasks or websites for simply just consuming and obtaining knowledge. Starting in the earliest years in our TK grades, students are invited to be designers, remixing hands-on making opportunities with digital tools. With our reimagination of school, students become thought partners with peers that are in the house next door, or maybe even across town. So you might be wondering, how might we reimagine the use of technology as an instructional tool? Well, we honor those best practices, timeless skills, and hands-on making opportunities, while also considering the new skills, practices, and cutting-edge technologies our learners might need. The result of this is something researcher Dr. John Spencer calls a vintage innovation, which is really a mix or mashup between old and new approaches to teaching and learning. So what might mashups look and sound like at the virtual campus? One example reminds me of my own childhood and the connection between patches that we might have earned in scouting, also remixed with playing Nintendo Switch or Xbox at home. When put together, these connect to an idea called digital badging. Now, students at the virtual campus have the opportunity to earn digital badges throughout the year that connect with our core values that Mr. Frankowiak mentioned earlier. This is an example of a community badge we created and shared with learners this past winter, where we invited students to view the Big Bright Light Show, a major community event in downtown Rochester, and then asked them to design a community event themselves. As we continue to create and evolve these opportunities, we keep four main things in mind. All innovations are student and teacher driven, rooted in the robust RCS curriculum, relevant to reflect the current events and student passions here at campus, and they're finally engaging. We ask students to act and actually do something to show their understanding or make a difference in the world around them. We're also proud to announce that we recently opened our makerspace at the virtual campus, which you can actually see behind me. And all teachers can now check that out to engage in maker-centered learning events alongside their students. In the future, we have plans to create an innovation lab and community cafe where students can meet with one another to collaborate on group projects or meet in small groups with their teachers. And we will continue to develop community-based projects similar to the community badge that I just shared. Hopefully we extend these experiences through all TK through 12. And it's now my pleasure to pass things over to Mrs. Galuska, our academic interventionist here at the virtual campus.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Rains. Good evening, everyone. As you've heard in this presentation, at Rochester Community Schools Virtual Campus, we provide a rigorous education that engages all students to develop their passions while developing critical thinking skills that drive them into their 21st century futures. Part of this includes our multi-tiered system of support model. Within the MTSS model, our goal is to meet each student where they are. We achieve this by offering a variety of supports for students, families, and staff. For students, this may include individual or small group supports or enrichments, utilizing programs such as iReady or Literacy Footprints. As a staff of passionate educators, we pride ourselves on rising to meet all the needs of our diverse and dynamic student population. With a highly qualified set of team members, we are dedicated to responding to the individual needs and enrichments of each child through a data-driven process. An important component of supporting students is the data collection. There are many assessments given throughout the school year in order to provide multiple data points and information. Most of those assessments are completed within the virtual setting. However, this does include some mandatory in-person testing, such as MSTEP and WIDA in elementary. And information regarding those in-person assessment schedules will be provided through school communications as they approach. Lastly, in your role as your child's learning partner at home, we offer supports for our families as well. One way we do this is through our Parent and Caregiver Workshop series. Watch for some exciting information regarding updates to that series coming soon. And now it is my pleasure to turn it over to our Rochester Community Schools ESL coach, Lindsay Woodberg.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lindsay Woodberg, and I am an ESL coach for Rochester Community Schools. ESL stands for English as a Second Language. I'm going to give you a brief overview of the ESL program. At the beginning of the year, students are screened based on their home language survey. If you indicated that another language other than English as your child's native tongue, or primary language, then your child will be assessed in English. They will be tested in their listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills in English. Based on these results, a student may or may not qualify for the ESL program and receive supports. Another benefit about attending Rochester Community Schools is that all caregivers who speak English as a second language are welcome to join our Parent Liaison Center. The Parent Liaison Center provides caregivers a community where families are able to interact and get to know each other. There are many classes offered to allow families a place to partake in a welcoming and comfortable environment. Some examples of classes include ESL conversation class, story time, walking group, and many more. You should definitely check out the RCS website to learn more. And now I'm going to send it over to Amber Filipski.
Thank you, Lindsay. Hi, everyone. I am Amber Filipski, the speech language pathologist for the virtual campus. A common question that parents considering the virtual campus have is whether or not we offer special education services. The answer is yes. A common quote that goes around in the special education world is that special education is a service, not a place. And I can't think of a time in my career where that quote has rang more true. We have a full special education team in the virtual campus. On your screen, you'll see the names of those members. Carrie Marchand, the teacher consultant, Cheryl Kahn, the elementary special education teacher, Kristen Burwell and Linda Craig, the secondary special education teachers, myself, the speech language pathologist, Rebecca Smith, social worker, Ona McGee-Jones, the school psychologist, and then physical therapists and occupational therapists associated with your home building. Some common eligibility categories in the virtual campus are speech and language impairment, learning disability, autism spectrum disorder, otherwise health impaired, including ADHD and anxiety. Of course, the decision to access your education in the virtual campus will be an IEP team decision, but those are some of the common eligibility categories we are servicing right now in the virtual campus. Examples of accommodations that your student might receive in a virtual setting include personalized schedules, visual supports, simplified directions, and extended time on assignments. I didn't even need to include breaks in that list because breaks and natural pacing to your day is the basis of the virtual campus. You'll have so much freedom and flexibility to do what's right for your student and your family. Our direct services include special education classes, speech and language therapy, social work groups, occupational therapy. We host hands-on events at the Schultz campus. We have social groups and parent workshops coming soon. Our service delivery models include both direct service via Zoom and asynchronous services through Brightspace and sometimes even through email for some of our older students. And we also offer consultative services to staff and families that are trying to support their student in the special education world. I will say lastly, before I turn it over to Mr. Frankowiak, that one of my concerns moving into the virtual world was if the relationships that I have with my students would be different. And I am so happy to say that they are just as strong and rival those that I've had in person. And I have the bonus of getting to see home artwork, Lego creations, and meeting parents, pets, and favorite stuffed animals. So really, if you're considering the virtual campus, please know that we are here to build those relationships just like we are in person. And I'll leave it to you, Jeff.
Thank you, Ms. Filipski, and thank you everyone on the virtual campus team. I cannot tell you how just proud I am as a principal of a school with this group of caring individuals. And in fact, they represent just a small fraction of the caring individuals that encompass our entire faculty and staff team awaiting to help personalize pathways for your child. And so is this a sales pitch? Absolutely not. Is this something that, in essence, we're very proud to share with you? Absolutely. And it's one of the things that we just scratched the surface to talk about the opportunities awaiting for the students who do choose this pathway for their children. If you look on the screen in front of you, you'll see our website. The easiest way to link you there, if you are just listening to this video, is if you can go to the Rochester Community Schools main page, scroll down like 2 wheel clicks, and you're going to see the big Virtual Voyager logo. Click there and you can read all about our academic programs. You can read about how everything builds upon each other as students progress through the grades. And you can also see some of the supplementary experiences that our students have access to as well. So another way to connect with the virtual campus is, of course, to follow us on social media. And the nice thing is, if we do create resources and we do create some of those events that our team had shared, even if students aren't at the virtual campus, a benefit of how we present education is, of course, making things available to students everywhere. And a good way to connect with our team is through social media. So if you follow us on Twitter, it is at RCS Virtual. If you go to YouTube, the channel is called RCS Virtual, and please subscribe because we put new content there frequently. And then you'll see a pattern when you go on Facebook. It is facebook.com/RCS Virtual. If you give our page a follow, again, we try to communicate and provide all the opportunities there. Once again, thank you for attending our parent orientation series. Whether you're watching it live or you're watching the recording, please do not hesitate to reach out to our team if there's anything we can do to provide any information or any resources to help you make your decision. So have a great night, everybody, and we will be talking to you soon. Take care.